Hello! Today we're going to watch Dance Moms, Season 1, Episode 4. While I was making this episode, I went back and watched some of my other footages, and I saw those 2 clips of Jill that I used in the first episode, and what I had said about them, and I realized that I already feel better than I did when I made the first episode of this. So I think it's working, the talking about it, so let's keep going. Last episode we saw Melissa throw a birthday party for Cathy, then they went out to lunch. Vivi did a solo that she already knew, and Brooke went to the chiropractor and considered that maybe she wants to try cheerleading. In episode 4 we'll see a hometown competition. It's solos week. Cathy doesn't want to be a cheerleader, and Maddie has 2 solos. Episode 4 starts at Pyramid. Abby says, let's talk about last week's competition.
Can we have a round of applause?
And everybody claps. Yay, they did a great job. This is a great way to start the pyramid.
Okay, so, Brooke, you blew them away. The people sitting around me were in awe when you did your handstand twist.
I saw some comments on the YouTube video saying that during this performance, when Brooke was not facing the audience, her face looked like she was in pain, and then when she turned towards the audience, she was all smiles. You can kind of see that in this clip. I slowed it down a little. It did look like she was in pain for some of those contortion type moves.
But why all the drama with the hip?
Well, her hip hurt, so she said that her hip hurt.
If you are seriously injured, you don't need to go to your mother and get everybody worked up. You come to me, and that needs to be clear, yes?
Well, if she's seriously injured, she should probably tell her mom and her coach. They should both know about an injury. So Brooke told her mom took her to the chiropractor. The chiropractor said that he thought Brooke shouldn't compete. Brooke told Abby, and Abby told Brooke,
You just have to grind that down.
yeah, the bone, just grind that down. Basically, Abby told Brooke to keep doing the same moves until it doesn't hurt anymore.
Abby's comment about Brooke crying about her hip and complaining that it hurt, I thought was crazy.
This is interesting because all we saw Abby say was, but why all the drama with the hip? But Kelly implied that Abby said something at some point that was more like that Brooke was crying and complaining that her hip hurt. Saying my hip hurts is not complaining. It's stating a fact that you're in pain. And crying because you're in pain is a physical response and therefore not always a choice. Your body just does it because it's in pain. And Abby just said that Brooke should come to her if she's in pain, and then possibly in the next breath said that she had been crying and complaining. So why should Brooke go to Abby if she's in pain? It's really interesting because of the ways in which Abby responds to injuries and pain throughout the show, both with the girls and with her own pain. But here in episode 4 with Brooke, Abby doesn't seem very empathetic, and she doesn't seem to care if Brooke injures it further. So Kelly says that if Brooke's hurt, she should go to Kelly, and that if Brooke didn't complain about it, they wouldn't have put ice and stuff on it, and she probably wouldn't have been able to perform the dance. And that's true. Kelly is the one who actually did stuff about it. Abby just said to do it more. That's why you should probably tell your mom and your coach about injuries and pains. That's the end of the talk about last weekend. This weekend, the competition is
right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hooray, a hometown competition. No flying across the country.
This is one competition where we cannot have anything go wrong.
Well, you never want anything to go wrong, but why so much this one?
All of my peers will be here.
Well, that's fun. More of their relatives and stuff could be there since it's local.
All of my competitors will be here.
Oh, because they come from all around because they know ALDC will be there. if it's in Pittsburgh?
All of my enemies will be here.
Oh, Abby has enemies? Well, this could be fun. Abby turns the chalkboard around.
Do you see there's somebody new on top? Yes, Brooke?
Hooray, Brooke is at the top of the pyramid, and mostly everyone is happy for her.
You are here because of your performance. You worked through an injury, you did what you had to do, you were a team player.
That's great that Brooke gets to be rewarded for working really hard and doing a great job. Maybe the pyramid does work.
It feels good to be on top of the pyramid, but I don't really care. Like, it doesn't matter to me whether I'm on the bottom or the top.
Well, she probably cares a little bit. She did smile while Abby was talking, so it's nice that she gets to be on the top of the pyramid. Yay, Brooke! Abby says that Brooke is getting a solo this week. Then she moves on to Chloe and Maddie. They're both on the second row. Chloe and Maddie are sitting next to each other. They smile at each other. It's sweet. Abby says they're also getting solos this weekend.
The bottom row, what am I supposed to do with you for?
Teach them? She says that they need to step it up. They need to get their butts back into class and start working on your technique. Well, they're there now in class. Technique. So Abby says that since they're in Pittsburgh this weekend, she's gonna give every single one of them a solo. Okay, so did we have to say that bit about what am I going to do with you if it was already planned for everyone to get a solo? So it's solos week. That'll be fun. Everyone will have an equal chance. They all clap. Cathy does not look happy.
I wasn't clapping because I knew that we were going to have to do the bee dance.
Well, that will be okay if she's been working on it for a couple of weeks now. But Cathy says that Vivi has not mastered that solo yet.
Vivi is very uncomfortable with new choreography.
Right, so we need to practice. But I think she can do it.
Moms, it's gonna be a busy week. I expect them to be amazing.
All right, well then they'll be amazing. Abby says, do you understand? Yes? Sit up straight. And all the girls sit up straighter. Abby says, ladies, let's go, and claps, and they all get up and the moms leave. Abby says in a confessional that competing locally is always important. It's a big deal because her name and her reputation are on the line. Well, yeah, it's a competition. So it's 5 days till competition. So Monday, we start with Maddie's solo rehearsal to Cry, which she competed in episode 2 and won.
It's like you're dancing out of control a little bit. You need to bring it down, yes? And if everything's big, then nothing's big.
So Abby is in her spot, but she's kind of demonstrating what she means. It's not really like a specific instruction, but it's said in a nice tone. And Maddie seems to understand what Abby means. So this is a good exchange. Since Maddie already knows this solo, they don't have to work on learning the steps. They're working more on cleaning and perfecting, adding that extra performance value. While Maddie is practicing, we hear Abby say that this week each girl has a solo to perform. Solos are very difficult because there's nobody to hide behind out there on stage. It's all about you. Yeah, that's why that would be scary for me. Abby says that she loves solo work. She loves the one-on-one work with the student, and she thinks that every child grows from doing a solo. I would say that's probably true because I would be scared to do a solo, but then after I did it, I would feel very accomplished. So I like this idea of them all doing a solo the same week. Everyone gets a chance for it to be all about them. We see Abby give Maddie a correction.
Watch, don't land in that heel on that jeté.
It's a loud correction, but it's very specific and instructional. Then we hear Abby say that this week Maddie is doing 2 solos.
One to the music Cry, which she competed several weeks ago, and the other is a new tap routine.
Okay, so since she already knows Cry, she must be learning a new tap solo this week. That'll be fun. We hear Maddie say that she loves having a solo.
and I think I do the best when I'm dancing alone.
I understand that too. Then you don't have to worry about what anyone else is doing, and you can just focus on what you're doing. So I understand why Maddie likes to dance solo. Then we see Cathy and Vivi in the studio rehearsing without Abby. Vivi is dancing. Cathy says to stick your butt out. And I think it's interesting. Before Vivi does a kick, Cathy yells to kick it up, get it up. Like a reminder to kick as high as you can before you do it. Not saying after that it wasn't high enough. I think it worked because Vivi kicks really hard. But I like that Cathy said it before the move was executed.
I am not happy with Vivi doing this bumblebee dance.
She says that being a dance teacher, she took it upon herself to say, hey, let's get together in a little room, it's the big room, and let's rehearse the dance. Well, that's probably good, right? For Cathy to just go over it again with Vivi.
She doesn't want to jump onto a new dance.
Then we see Cathy sitting on the studio floor. Vivi goes to her saying that she doesn't want to do it. Cathy says, don't be mad at me. The captions on the screen say that Vivi said, don't want to anymore, and you make me keep doing this, and don't want to dance anymore. It's hard to hear all of that, but it's clear that Vivi doesn't want to do it anymore. The camera pulls in closer to them. Cathy tells her, don't be upset, and Vivi pulls away and goes to stand near the wall again. Cathy gets up and kind of backs away and says again, don't be upset, and then to do it again. Vivi clearly does not want to continue dancing in this moment. I think maybe it would have been better if Cathy had said like, okay, let's do it one more time, or 10 more minutes, and then we can take a break. Like put a set limit on it, so Vivi knows when she'll be able to stop. Just saying do it again, Vivi doesn't know how many more times she's going to have to do it when she clearly doesn't want to do it. Maybe Cathy did say that at some point. Maybe they only tried it one more time. We don't know. Next we see Paige's solo rehearsal.
Up through your shoulders. Or turn on in the passe. Easy. Do that again, stand up.
Here Abby is up. She's not yelling, she's giving corrections and having Paige repeat the part that she did wrong. Abby looks a little annoyed, but it's an okay exchange.
Paige's solo is primarily jazz, with a few gymnastic tumbling passes.
Okay, well that sounds like it'll be fun for Paige.
Those are good feet, good.
That's nice. She praised Paige for pointing her feet correctly. We hear Paige say that this is her first time doing a solo and that she's
really scared because I'm gonna be out on stage all by myself.
Anyone's first solo is probably scary, so that's okay that she's nervous about it. She can do it.
Get in 4 starch. Good girl.
That was very good. Abby reminded her and then she praised her.
It's scarier when you're alone because if you mess up on stage, you don't really have anyone to look at or anything.
In a solo, there's no one else on stage with you to help you remember what move comes next or to help you know where to be or the timing. I think it's interesting that Paige says scary and scared, not nervous or something like that. Scared is different than nervous. If she's feeling scared about her first solo, she might need a lot of extra practice and encouragement. It looks like Paige is having fun in rehearsal and it seems to be going well, so that's good.
Front foot on that jeté.
Well, mostly. We hear a few more corrections as the camera pulls away from the studio, and now we're at a restaurant with the moms. Christi is saying that this is a place where
That we can go and just kind of get out of that dance jail.
that's nice to get together not at the studio and be adults and talk about adult things.
This time, we invited Cathy to come along because she's new to the group and we wanted to feel like, we were including her in things.
That's very nice. I'm sure that Cathy will appreciate being included in the group.
So what'd you guys think of the competition this weekend?
It was far away. Too far away.
I mean, we sat there. At least we got to go home.
You're right, I did.
We see a flashback clip of Cathy leaving early and Abby saying that they all came early to watch Vivi and Christi's upset face. It wasn't very nice to just leave like that when everyone got there like 5 hours early to support Vivi and then they took off. But they left because of the argument Cathy and Abby had after Cathy changed the routine and then Vivi got 7th place and set her mom's studio on stage. Abby was upset, and Cathy did a little dance to cheer her up and help her move on.
Yeah, that wasn't fair.
I agree.
Well, you know what? This is how I feel about that, ladies.
All right, please explain.
We're in this for a different reason, and we don't need to have a cheering section. And we probably will be leaving at the competitions. I'm sorry.
That's upsetting for us because I think we all care about the kids and those dancers.
I get not needing a cheering section, but they are a team under Abby, so they all support each other. They all get there at the same time. They all watch all the performances, and they leave all at the same time. Cathy wants to just go to the competition for Vivi's dances and then leave, which I understand, but is that being a team?
You don't want us to be cheerleaders, that's fine, but I like supporting the other kids.
Right, I agree. It's a team, and they like to do things as a team. That's good.
When you say, I like that, that's your like. It's not my like.
Well, that's fine, but then that's not really being a team player.
I don't want to be a part of the team. I don't want to have to be a cheerleader. When Vivi's done dancing, I want to go home and go about my business.
Well, then that's fine, but why be a part of this team?
You know, I'm looking at the clock when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking of all of the things that I could be doing, shopping even. This is just not working well with me.
Yeah, I don't know if Cathy's gonna make it on this team.
I like you guys, but I don't want to be your cheerleaders.
What's wrong with cheerleaders? Then we get a conversation distraction.
Oh my God, are you driving?
Kelly's face was like, oh, well, I guess that conversation is over. It says it's 7:36 p.m. Is it still Monday? And we're at Brooke's solo rehearsal.
Brooke is sticking to her forte. She will be doing a contortion acrobatic routine.
Is her hip feeling better? She has to do another contortion routine. So we're just gonna grind that down then, I guess.
Oh, straight knee front. Breathe.
These are good corrections, and I like that Abby tells her when to breathe. Like sometimes it's hard, you get so focused on what you're doing that you forget to breathe, and then you get winded. But Abby does seem to think about this when she choreographs, and she does tell them, like, here is when you breathe. So that's good. I think that's an important part of the teaching.
I like to dance, but I like to hang out with my friends more, and boys.
Ah, yes, to be 13. Then we see Nia's solo rehearsal. Her style says Cuban jazz.
Nia, what's going on with your legs?
Well, that sounds a little different than the other rehearsals that we've just seen. She was just kind of standing or spinning. She wasn't doing a kick or something. What's going on with your legs? What do you mean, what's going on with her legs? What does that mean? What is the answer? What did Nia learn? Maybe she thought she did it right. Now she's like, I don't know what's going on with my legs. This is not a correction. It's not labeling a problem. It's not offering solutions. It's not a helpful sentence. It's not instructional. But let's continue. So Abby gets out a bat thing, and production added a nice sound effect. It's like a smallish, foamish, bat-ish thing. What are we doing with the bat thing?
Oh yes, I'm brutally honest. I have to be.
Well, brutally honest is one thing. Brutally honest would be like, your knee was bent. Saying, what's going on with your legs is something different. That's not a brutally honest correction. Let's see how this bat thing is used. Watch the body language of Abby while she uses her bat technique. Notice that she uses the bat on the underside of Nia's knee.
That leg, yes, do it again. That final product on stage is what all the hours of training are about.
So when the bat thing first came out, I was thinking it was going to be used for aiming. Like in boxing training, someone holds the things for you and you kick or punch the thing they're holding and they move it around and you try to follow it by changing your aim or aiming higher, right? That sort of method seems to work well, especially for kicks, because you can visually see where you're supposed to be aiming. But that's not how Abby is using the bat thing. She used it underneath Nia's leg, after Nia had executed the move. Like she's holding her leg up as high as it will go, and Abby touches her under it. She doesn't like push up with the bat, like to help Nia raise it higher. It's not on the top as encouragement to aim higher. It did nothing to help the leg get higher. I'm not sure what the point was. Compared to earlier, when Cathy was working with Vivi and she yelled like, kick higher, right before the kick, so Vivi knew to kick really hard. It's like encouragement right before the thing. Like some people make noises while they're lifting weights. You do it right before or during the move. If you do it before or during the move, then it's for aiming and encouragement. If you do it after the move, then it's a consequence. So, is Abby's bat method helpful and instructional? While this is happening on screen, we hear Abby saying that the final product on stage is what all the hours of training are about. Well, yes, this is true, but that sounds kind of like the ends justify the means. It's true that the final product is the result of all the hours, but what we were shown while she was saying it was that training.
This is my job. This is what I do.
Well, yes, no one is arguing that.
I don't know why you're leaning in your heels, but go ahead.
This is not really a correction either. Just like, what's wrong with your legs? It's like asking her, why did you do it wrong? It's not telling her what to do differently or how to do it the right way. It's just, why is this wrong? Well, if Nia doesn't know why it's wrong, how is she supposed to fix it? Similar to what we talked about before with Chloe when Abby said that she needs help with technical things and that she's not applying corrections quickly enough. It sounds like they need more technique trainings, actual corrections, and solutions to what they're not doing correctly.
Why are you so sloppy? Why is that foot banging on the ground? Come on.
While she pops the bat on her hand, which most people would consider this literal movement a threat. But again, that is not a correction. Sloppy is not an operationally defined term. It's not a proper dance term. Why is your foot banging on the ground? Okay, so her foot touched the floor too hard? Is she supposed to land softerly? Like, I don't understand what she did wrong or what she was supposed to do instead. There's no actual correction, no solutions offered. This is Nia's rehearsal. What did she learn?
Abby pushes us to work harder every single day that we see her.
Aw, well, I mean, wanting to work harder, I guess, is okay. But what is she supposed to work harder on? Not being sloppy or something?
Well, she always helps me because with her reminding me to point and straighten my leg, one day I'm gonna be a star like that.
So I think this is interesting. It seems to me that Nia was asked by production or whoever is there, like, does Miss Abby help you? Which is a really good question with what is being shown during this conversation, because we really didn't see anything helpful. But Nia is being a good student and saying that her teacher helps her by reminding her to point her feet, which even that would have been better than what we just saw. And also Nia says that one day she'll be a star, because of her teacher Abby and her helpful teaching and reminders. Well, now let's see Kenzie's rehearsal.
Jump!
Okay, so right here, Abby says the instruction, jump, right before Kenzie does the jump, as a quick reminder to jump as high as she can. This is good. It's loud, but it's done at the right time to be helpful, and Kenzie jumps really high, so it worked. Kenzie continues her practice, and Abby yells things like, smile, bigger, wiggle, go, to the back, come on, big. And it's like while Kenzie's doing the steps, it's loud and Abby's sitting, but I think it's mostly helpful because it's like as Kenzie is doing each move, while this is happening, we hear Abby saying that people
think I'm tough, they think I'm mean.
Well, yeah, okay. She says, but I worry about these kids.
Like they're my own children.
That blurred line between teacher and parent. Abby feels like a parent to these kids. I think it's interesting that they played this during Kenzie's rehearsal, because I think that maybe Abby only feels this way about some of the students, so they played it during Kenzie's. Again though, is it good that their teacher feels like another parent? Continuing Kenzie's rehearsal, Kenzie stops and starts to look sad. She was on the floor, so she kind of lays down more and puts her head in her hands. There's a lot of editing because Abby is standing at one point and then sitting in her spot holding a drink. Abby says, "What are you doing?" And Kenzie says, "I just forgot."
What? You forgot? But you have to keep going. You can't just quit dancing.
Abby's tone here is okay, and what she said here is okay, but Kenzie's posture and body language here is interesting. She's sitting on the floor on her feet in like a tight body position. She kind of rubs her legs and kind of wrings her hands. She looks down at the floor. If you saw a kid in this posture out of context, I think most people would see this as like a fear pose. The rubbing of the legs could be like a self-soothing. The wringing of the hands could be like nervous, anxious energy. The sitting tight could be like the trying to be as small as possible. The looking at the floor could be like trying to distract yourself or take the attention off of yourself. It looks like Kenzie's really scared of Abby's reaction to her forgetting her dance. Because Kenzie was doing really well. She was doing the things Abby was yelling. She was doing her dance. She seemed like she was enjoying it and working really hard. And then, bam, forgets a part and everything crashes. The energy changes and now she's anxious. Abby's tone was okay. She didn't really yell at Kenzie, which makes it more interesting that Kenzie was like readying herself to be yelled at or something. Like, where would that come from? So the next little bit is what we saw in an earlier episode when we saw a clip of Nia and Paige and then it cut to Kenzie, and I said I got confused because it looked like two different rehearsals. So this is the part that Abby said to Kenzie.
All right, start again. Suck it up. I don't want to see those tears.
So she was crying because she was scared because she forgot a part of her dance during rehearsal. We don't really see Abby reminding her of the part she forgot. We just see her say, "Start again." So I hope Kenzie remembers now what she just forgot. Then we get a super iconic interview with Kenzie.
I love dancing.
But
I don't want to go on Broadway. All I want to do is just stay home and eat chips.
oh, what was that?
All I want to do is just stay home and eat chips.
Let me slow it down some.
Stay home and eat chips.
People made t-shirts with this quote, apparently. It's a cute quote, but this comes up again much later. It becomes like a huge issue with Abby later, which now, after researching a little, we have heard the cast say that sometimes they were given suggested lines to say in the confessionals. Like not a script to read, but like, hey, can you say it like this? Kind of thing. Just little suggestions. So was Kenzie maybe supposed to say or suggested to say sit on the couch? Was this going to set up like the lazy plotline? If Abby later thinks that it was sit on the couch, would that mean that possibly Abby wrote some of the suggested lines they were given? Or did Abby just remember it wrong? Let's hang on to that. But also back to what Kenzie actually said, this is similar to what we heard Vivi say, that sometimes she just wants to stay home. It sounds like Kenzie would also like to just stay home sometimes. Maybe not go to competitions every weekend. We see a little bit more of Kenzie's rehearsal. She's back to normal, and Abby is yelling corrections while she's dancing, and Vivi is standing there watching. Then we go back to the restaurant with the moms. Cathy is saying that she appreciates all the camaraderie and everything, the birthday party and the lunch with Melissa, I guess. She says, but I'm gonna tell you point blank, I think the difference is, and this is probably going to offend you, Christi.
But I think the difference is that I am Abby's colleague, no matter how you slice and dice it. I'm her colleague.
Christi's like, yeah, so like why would that offend me? What are you trying to say? We know that you're a dance teacher. You still ride the bus. And Melissa like puts distance between her and Cathy here. She grabs her drink and turns her head away. It's a little funny. But, okay, go on.
You are a dance mom.
We know this, Cathy. I had to go back to the earlier scene to see what they were talking about, because I don't think anyone was like, hey, Cathy, are you a dance teacher? They were talking about Cathy and Vivi leaving early and not supporting the other kids. And Christi and Holly were saying that they like supporting the other kids. And Cathy says that she doesn't want to be a cheerleader. She just wants to go, Vivi dances, and then they leave and go shopping. I don't know really how I would feel about this. I guess technically dancing under Abby's name is different than being on the team. So maybe Cathy is just saying like that she wants Vivi to be under Abby's name, but she doesn't want to be a part of the junior elite competition team. Which I guess is a fair want. That would be up to Abby, not the other moms. But I think really what is happening is that Cathy is kind of seeing where this is going, and she's trying to already put it out there, like in case this goes longer than the 6 episodes. She's kind of drawing a line and sort of separating herself, preemptively, maybe.
I'm fine with Cathy's feelings and how she feels about our studio and the moms. I think she's really a sweet person, and she was just being honest.
She was just being honest. We just saw Abby saying that she's brutally honest. Is it okay to say things that some people might see as rude, as long as you're just being honest? But also, I don't think Cathy really is being fully honest. She's not really explaining to the moms why she doesn't want to be on the bus or stay at the competition all day. She's letting it sound like she doesn't want to support the other kids. But I don't think that's the full honest reason that Cathy doesn't want to be part of the team.
Abby's making a ton of money off of me, ladies.
She's making a ton of money off of all of us.
She's probably making a lot more off of me because I'm probably getting charged double.
I don't think there should be different prices for different students. It should be the same across the board. Maybe the different styles would be different, like tap because you have to buy shoes or something. But not like the people on a team all pay a different price. That would not be fair.
I think Cathy's crazy. After the things she said tonight, she needs to take her butt back to Ohio where she came from.
If she doesn't want to be part of the team, maybe she shouldn't be part of the team.
We're just on a different page, Vivi and I. We're part of the group, but we're not part of the group.
I guess if Cathy also signs something for the 6 episodes, then we have a couple more weeks to figure this out.
I have to be true to myself, and I have to be true to the people that I'm around.
I don't think Cathy is really being fully honest. She's not really explaining to the moms why she doesn't want to be on the bus or stay at the competition all day.
You either like me or you don't like me, I guess.
Well, okay.
I don't really care if these moms like me or not.
Well, that's okay, I guess. They don't need to be besties.
I like all of you, but we're not in it for all of that cheerleading.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. So I guess Cathy will be leaving early and not supporting the other kids at the competitions.
I love your necklace.
Oh my God, I love your skirt. Where did you get it? That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
Alright, well, it's the next day. It's 4 days till competition. Everyone arrives. We start with Chloe's solo rehearsal. She has a new solo this week, and it's called Mother. So she's doing the rehearsal. It looks good. She's wearing the little shoe things, and then she slips and falls. She gets right back up and keeps going. Abby does sound a little concerned. She says, "Are you okay, honey?" Like she did care. She didn't want Chloe to fall right there. We hear Chloe say that she thinks that her biggest competition is probably Maddie because she's a very good dancer, which is very nice to say. And then I think whoever was sitting there maybe asked her, like, "Are you a good dancer?" Because she says,
People have told me that I'm a good dancer.
"Oh, Chloe is a good dancer." Then we see Maddie's tap solo rehearsal. Abby is giving corrections as she's dancing.
Maddie gets 2 solos because she takes a standing private lesson in tap all year from September to June, once a week.
And that's where she learns her tap routine. Okay, so it looks like Abby is teaching Maddie the tap routine, but we know from the other day with Chloe, when Matt needed her for tap, that Matt teaches tap. So Matt teaches Maddie her tap solos, and that's how she learns tap. So she knows this solo, at least mostly, already. It kind of sounds like she's maybe been working on it for a long time, like months, but I guess we don't know that.
Then her other solo is just like all the other kids.
Well, that makes sense. Do any of the other kids take another type of dance like that and get a special solo and a regular solo? Or just Maddie? Maddie continues rehearsing, and Abby tells her more eye contact with the judges. Get in their face, Maddie. It seems like Maddie does already know this tap routine, and Abby is just what they call cleaning and perfecting. So Maddie already knows both her tap solo and her cry solo. So I guess she has an easy week this week. No new material to learn. We see Melissa watching the rehearsal.
I'll go look for another bow for you.
And then she leaves the room, I guess, to look for another bow for Cathy.
Did you know Maddie's doing 2 solos?
So it looks like Brooke and Kenzie are in this room, the den, with Christi and Kelly. Brooke seems to be doing some homework because Kelly glances over at the girls like she's not sure they should talk about this in front of the kids. Notice Cathy as she listens. Christi says that Melissa
Just sat here and said that Maddie is doing 2 solos this weekend.
And whose idea was that, hers or Abby's?
They probably got together over, lunch and talked about it.
Well, we didn't see that lunch with Melissa. Then we see this clip of Christi in an interview, and to me it seems... Notice the way she's looking at the person behind the camera as she's talking.
No one has a chance in hell of winning against Maddie. She's doing 2 solos. She has double the chance of winning against anyone else.
It's like she's explaining this directly to the person in the room. What could they have asked her there? Like, why were you mad that Maddie has 2 solos in a competition where your daughter only has 1? And then Christi has to explain why that would be unfair. We go back to the conversation in the den. Notice Cathy again.
I can't even get rehearsal time for 1.
I haven't even heard my kids' music yet. How do you practice your dance without music?
Well, Melissa's in charge of music. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
Right, so there is what I think Christi's really upset about. Not as much that Maddie has 2 solos, but more that her daughter doesn't get enough rehearsal time for 1, which we have seen a little bit already in previous episodes, where Maddie learned her solo on Monday and Chloe learned hers on Friday, which is not fair on its face. Now, if the tap teacher is not Abby, then I don't know, does that make it different? That Matt teaches tap and not Abby? But the girls' time with Abby and the competition team stuff should be equitable, which this week it appears so far to kind of be equal time. We've seen a rehearsal for each girl already, and it's only Tuesday, so that's good. But Maddie already knew her tap solo and her cry solo. So is this fair and equal time? And then Kelly saying that she doesn't even have music yet, that's a different issue, and we don't exactly know why Kelly hasn't received music yet. Christi says that Melissa's in charge of music, but Melissa doesn't choose the music. She just downloads it. Who chooses the music? Is this week's music not chosen yet? Does Abby choreograph without music, just using counts and then chooses music after? Christi continues her thought about Melissa.
She always finds a way to get an edge, always.
So in this case, I don't think that Melissa has done anything wrong or sneaky. I think she hasn't been given Kelly's musics. Melissa's just doing what she's told to do. I don't exactly know whose idea it was for Maddie to have 2 solos during solos week, but I don't think it was Melissa's idea. I don't know who hasn't given Melissa the music yet, but I don't think Melissa is specifically withholding Kelly's music, of her own volition. But it's still not good. I definitely understand why Christi and Kelly would be frustrated in this moment, and I think we kind of see maybe why Cathy is starting to separate herself and Vivi. Cathy's way more organized than they are, which I believe. I believe that Cathy would not withhold music from a student competing that weekend. I think Cathy would make sure that they had music and rehearsal times. But whose organization is this?
It's solos week. Everybody should have 1 solo.
I agree with that.
I am so aggravated.
I would be too, but again, who is she aggravated with?
Everybody was mad because I wasn't on the bus.
And I'm fine with it. My daughters just like to be with their friends.
I think it should be fine either way. You can ride the bus if you want. You can ride the car if you want. Maybe they could ride the bus sometimes. While Melissa and Cathy are talking, Abby goes into
the den to see who was next for rehearsal, and there was Vivian. No mom.
Because Cathy was at the front desk with Melissa.
I would so love for us to do something.
You would love my girlfriends.
Yeah.
I feel like this show is kind of like Saved by the Bell, a soap opera, and Survivor had a baby. Like a baby. So while they're having this conversation, Abby is having Vivi try on the bumblebee costume. We hear Abby say that last week Cathy went behind her back and
let Vivi do an old routine that she had known. That's not the point. That's not how we're learning to pick up quickly. So this week, I made sure I pulled that kid out of the dressing room.
And she put that bumblebee costume on her, which they show Abby literally putting Vivi into the costume, which is kind of cute. They're both smiling, but
I had her run that routine over and over and over so that mother could not change it.
So Vivi got a rehearsal. That's great. How long was this conversation with Melissa? We see Abby tell Vivi that the costume fits you beautifully. Abby sounds genuinely happy that it fits her. It's okay, it's black and yellow, because she's a bumblebee.
I don't like makeup and costumes.
Aw, well, we see Vivi practicing the bumblebee solo. Abby does really seem to like it.
I'll let you get back to work.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Well, it seemed like a happier conversation earlier, but okay. Then Cathy walks into the studio where Abby and Vivi are. Well, she must have stopped by the vending machine because now she has chips in her hand.
Point those speeds.
What do we have on?
Point.
I don't think Cathy likes the costume as much as Abby does. We hear Cathy say that if Abby is insistent that Vivi has to do the speed dance,
I will certainly reimburse her for her time.
So this clip is from the same interview as earlier when she was saying that she doesn't want to be part of the team. So I think maybe the speed dance is like a way that she can put her foot down if she needs a reason to further separate herself. She continues and says that they may not even be at the competition. Back in rehearsal, Abby asks Cathy, do you want to see the dance?
I would love to see.
It's your time to show Mom that you can do this.
Well, that's nice encouragement.
She doesn't have any faith in you.
What? I don't think that's the issue here. Why say that to the kid, that your mom doesn't have any faith in you? We hear Abby say that Cathy underestimates Vivian. She does not push her. Well, okay. Abby continues and says that she thinks that Cathy owning a studio, she does not want it to be all about her daughter, because she
Does not want to lose customers.
Okay, well, it makes sense that the studio owner would not want it to be all about her daughter, but I don't think that's in order to not lose customers. That would just be good business practice. That was a weird way to explain this idea. Abby continues and says that in the process, the child, Vivi, is not where she should be technically.
And that's why she's bringing her to me, and that's my job, and that's what I'm gonna do. She just needs to butt out.
Yeah. Holding the bat there is a nice touch. Is Abby gonna hit Cathy if she doesn't like the dance? Vivi finishes the routine. Abby says, good girl, and Vivi runs to Cathy for a hug. And Abby says, oh, ye of little faith, and does, in fact, tap Cathy on the back with the bat. Just a little tappy tap, feeling it out, you know.
The situation with Cathy is very bizarre. Cathy really wants nothing to do with the ALDC team. She really doesn't.
Yes, we've seen this. I guess it's good that Abby already understands this, but what should we do about that?
I need you to be a role model. You're a dance teacher. You know how important it is to get these mothers to do.
To do what? To do what you tell them to do? It looked like Abby was trying to tell Cathy something extra with her body language.
I cannot ride a bus if this is where this is going.
This is really interesting. Abby started this exchange like telling Cathy to do what she says, and Cathy is like, nope. Abby doesn't like moms who go against her. We learned that from Cathy. Wait.
The attitude that I'm too good for the boss? No, that has to stop.
Or what? Cathy gets the bat?
I can't do these field trips.
Uh-oh, is the wrath coming?
I'm sorry.
That's part of the team.
But Cathy doesn't want to be part of the team.
You want her to be with you? Then let her go by herself.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Vivi comes with me. That's fine.
Oh, no,
You
no,
don't
no,
have
no,
to
no,
go.
no, 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 no. No, we're not gonna do that either.
I don't know what Cathy thought Abby meant at first when she was like, okay, but no, we're not doing that. And I don't know when this conversation was filmed, but maybe this is when Cathy was like, okay, I need to put some space here. We need some distance.
I don't like not being in control. I'm being told what I have to do, where I have to go, and this is just not sitting well with me.
We're seeing that she's having this conversation with Abby, so we think that she's talking about Abby, telling her what to do. But was she? Who else could be telling her what to do? It almost looks like Abby is looking at someone during this sentence.
But we want to arrive together as a team.
Why do we have to do that? Are we part of the Olympics?
Cathy is supposed to be like the funny one, so this is a little funny. It kind of looks like even Abby thought it was a little funny. I agree that arriving as a team is good, but you can still walk in together even if someone came by car. So Cathy's first question is valid. Why do they all have to ride the same bus? Is it a big deal? And then she compares them to the Olympics, like she's calling to the importance. Why is this team, this junior elite competition team, so important that we all have to arrive the same way? Which also makes me think that she's talking to more than just Abby. Does Abby really care if Cathy's on the bus? Who else would care that everyone is all in one place for 4 hours of travel filming?
Cathy, why are you here?
That's also a valid question. I almost feel like maybe Abby is helping Cathy out here, like giving her an out on camera, if they were already friends, I mean.
You're here to be part of the Abby Lee Dance Company, but you don't want to play the game.
I know, I don't.
It's interesting that the camera doesn't show Abby say, play the game. If it is one sentence, it's almost like Abby caught herself and remembered, the show. Or that's not what she said there and it was edited to sound that way. I wonder if she says play the game somewhere else, sometime else. Perhaps we'll find it. What Cathy says next is interesting.
This is how I feel, Abby. A should be focused on themselves, and we'll be focused on ourselves.
I've heard other reality stars refer to things as the A story, the B story, right? So did Cathy mean that literally? Did she mean like, well, the A cast can do that, and Vivi and I will do, not what the A cast is doing? As like more separating herself from requirements? Would Cathy otherwise ever refer to herself as B?
I know, but that's selfish, and I'm not trying to raise selfish children.
Well, I guess in general, separating yourself is selfish, like linguistically. But again, we have the family type language. Abby is raising children.
We live in America. I feel like I'm in jail, that I have to jump on a bus and ride with everybody like I'm an elementary student.
Not only just ride the bus, but jump on the bus. Is that how people would normally say that? There's this like undertone of feeling rushed. Do they have to get on the bus like super early too? Is it also that Cathy can sleep in later if she drives herself?
I set my rules. If you don't like them, go somewhere else.
Well, so Abby is putting her foot down on this. You either ride the bus or you go somewhere else.
I don't care.
We're doing your solo this week. I'm very pleased with what I saw.
Oh, well, that's good.
The costume isn't as hideous as I thought it was.
Oh, is this a distraction tactic? Now it really looks like Abby is looking at someone off camera.
Sorry.
Why would you say that to me? Why would I create a hideous costume?
Why would you say that to me? Why would someone say something mean for no apparent reason? I wonder.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I gotta go.
So we're gonna get the address to meet you at the venue this weekend, and all is good.
You're gonna go look up the address.
Okay.
And you will meet me.
So Cathy won that one, I guess. Yay, no bus for Cathy. Now it's 3 days till competition, and we're at Christi's house.
I decided to have all the moms over for lunch because I thought that it was important that we kind of come together as a group and talk about Cathy and sort of what her intentions were at our studio.
Does that sound like Christi wanted to invite all the moms over for lunch to talk about Cathy? I mean, maybe, but okay, mom's lunch.
All right, girls, now I asked you to come over here because I think we need to talk about Cathy.
Holly's like, yes, the mom's lunch to talk about Cathy. Wait, it's a school day. Holly took off work to go to Christi's house for lunch to talk about Cathy? Did she?
If she's going to benefit from being a member of the team, then she needs to get her ass on the bus. She needs to stay and support my kid at 9 o'clock at night.
All the kids.
I do agree that they should all try to watch all the kids perform, but that's a separate issue from the bus.
If we have to abide by Abby's rules, everyone has to abide by Abby's rules.
Ultimately, yeah, so talk over?
Because if you start making exceptions to the rules, then why have rules?
Exactly.
I feel like both Christi and Holly kind of look toward Melissa there. The camera also goes to her next.
I understood the concern of the other mothers. I kind of feel caught in the middle because I really like Cathy a lot.
So we're supposed to think, I guess, that Melissa is okay with making exceptions sometimes? But that seems resolved. They all feel like Cathy should ride the bus.
I guess, and the other issue is to level the playing field, would you be willing to pull one of Maddie's solos?
The real issue. So this issue here is like a really big, well-known situation from the show. The issue is that one student is competing 2 solos this weekend. She already knows both. She's already won with one. And all the other students on the team are each learning a brand new solo. So like, I wonder who would win in that situation. The one doing 2 solos they already know, or a student who just learned a brand new one and hasn't heard her music yet? I wonder. But going back to the conversation with the moms, I don't think the solution to this issue is to pull one of Maddie's solos. Yes, that would make it more fair, but I think the bigger issue is that she already knows them. Like for weeks she's known them, so it doesn't matter which one was pulled, she'd still be competing a solo she already knows, and the others are still learning brand new ones. Why can't the other ones compete solos they already know? That would be more fair. Everybody has one would be most fair, but that's not what happens. But whose idea was it? Who enforced it?
I don't know about that. I have to talk to Abby about that.
I don't think that Melissa made this issue, so I don't think Melissa is responsible for fixing it, but I understand why the other moms would ask. I guess Melissa could talk to Abby about it, but would that change anything?
Christi asked me to pull one of Maddie's solos. I thought it was very inappropriate.
I think maybe the word inappropriate doesn't mean what I think it means. I don't necessarily think that it was inappropriate of Christi to ask. I think that's okay. It's okay that Melissa said no, like that's fine. It wasn't Melissa's decision, so it's not her responsibility to do anything about it. But I understand why the other moms would be upset. It almost seems like this is a very specifically created dramatic issue.
Maddie gets 2 solos because she has a tap private, so she has a tap solo every year. And then Abby just gives her an extra solo.
So this sounds like it's an annual event or something that they're going to. Does Maddie only learn 1 tap solo a year? Is this like the competition that she normally performs her annual tap solo? And then it's solos week, so she gets another solo? But her other solo she got is also one she already knows?
I don't see why it wouldn't be fair for my daughter to do 2 solos.
Well, it kind of depends on why she's doing 2 solos. Like if someone got injured or was absent and she took over their solo because it was already entered or something, that would be a fine reason to do 2 solos. Or if solos week means that everyone has 2 types of solos, that would be a fine reason to have 2 solos. But this situation, I don't know, is it fair? More because she already knows both of them. The others had to learn brand new routines without music, but Maddie got to do 2 that she already knew. That's really the part that's not fair. She has this whole extra week to just clean and perfect, while the others are learning brand new routines with no music. But I don't think it was Melissa's decision, or that there's anything she can do about it.
I don't think I would do that.
It kind of looks like Melissa is thinking, would my character do that? Like,
this whole thing was set up to be conflict television.
I don't think you guys would do that.
I did do it. I did it this year. Yes, I did. I did it at DEA. I could have had Chloe compete, and I didn't because Paige and Nia deserved a chance to shine.
well, that's very nice, I guess. So like, if they can only take so many routines, then it wouldn't really be fair that someone has 2. If everyone was asked, hey, do you want to do 2 solos this weekend? And Maddie's the only one who said yes, then that would be okay. But that's not what it sounds like happened.
I have to think about that. I have to talk to my daughter about that.
What would be your reasons for not doing it?
Because I'm not going to hurt my daughter.
So yeah, at this point, it's already been assigned and stuff, so if Melissa decides it's not fair and she goes to Abby and says to pull one of Maddie's solos, what would happen? Which solos should be pulled? It's a nice little situation that has been created because now there's no resolution that wouldn't hurt anyone, which makes me wonder whose idea this actually was. It's almost too perfect of a situation for TV.
Maddie by far is one of the strongest dancers. There's no question about that. There's no need for her to have 2 solos to prove that she's a really strong dancer. We know that.
Yes, I agree exactly. Who would think that Maddie would need 2 solos to prove that she's a really strong dancer?
If you looked at it from our perspective, you would be upset if Chloe were doing 2 solos and Maddie only had a chance to do 1.
I would not.
I believe that. I don't think that Melissa would say anything if Abby gave Chloe 2 solos that she already knew. Like that would ever happen. But I don't think it's a lack of Melissa understanding their concerns or not looking at it from their perspective. I think she does understand, but maybe she thinks she can't do anything about it. It's not her decision, which is probably true.
If another mom had their child in 2 solos, I would never go to that mom and ask them to pull one of their daughter's solos.
I don't think that she would say anything to the mom in that situation. Would she say something to Abby about it? Maybe. But ask the mother to pull it? I don't think Melissa would do that. Because she knows it would be futile? Maybe.
It's really none of my business what their daughter is doing. I have to worry about my children, not their children.
Melissa said children, hooray! So the only reason that it does kind of matter to the other moms is because this is a team. It's a team. Like a team. So if one person on the team is being given opportunities that are quite literally double what the other team members are getting, that kind of is their business. But I understand what Melissa is saying also. It really is like a perfect reality TV situation. We could go back and forth about it forever.
Becoming very cutthroat, and I don't think it needs to be that way.
I don't want to discuss it.
Holly here is spot on. It seems intentionally organized in a cutthroat way. Maybe it's because they're being filmed and they're supposed to talk about it like in this way. But I think what Holly is trying or wanting to say is something more like, we as the moms should stick together and sort of create boundaries that are best for the team and try to hold things to a certain level of appropriateness and fairness, like amongst the moms. Because the other moms aren't like asking for more for their kid. They're asking for the same. Solos week is 1 solo for everyone. That's just fairness, an equal playing field. But I guess they can't really say all of that in front of the cameras. Or if they did, would we see it? Alright, it's the next day, so it's Friday now? I'm confused. Okay, well, it's now 1 day till competition. We see some footages of classes. Abby is saying that we've only got 1 day left.
To get all these numbers together.
Well, not Maddie's. Hers are already together, so that's good. I guess we should really work hard today getting the other solos together. Abby continues and says that the girls are ready and that she has complete faith in them. So are they ready, or we still have to get it together? Did they each only have 1 rehearsal for each solo? That's what we saw, right? 1 session for each solo? But Abby has complete faith in them.
I would never send them out on stage if they weren't ready.
Oh, does that include being warmed up and having a costume that fits? We see more classes and such. Then we see Nia and Holly arrive. Melissa greets them from the front desk. Holly says they're ready for another day. Melissa says that she's cutting their music. The clock on the wall says 5:55. So it's Friday night. They compete tomorrow, and Melissa is just now at dinner time cutting everyone's music. Well, not everyone's. At least 2 solos already have music. I wonder if Chloe had her music already, but we know for sure that Paige doesn't have hers yet, so that's nice and helpful. We hear Melissa saying that because dance is so expensive, she works for Abby at the studio. She does the costumes, she does the music, she works at the desk. Kelly, Brooke, and Paige arrive. Now the clock on the wall says 6:04, and Melissa says,
I have your music, but Paige's I can't seem to get.
So you have Brooke's music. So she didn't have hers yet either. This is not good. It's not cool to not get your music till Friday night when you compete tomorrow. That's not okay. Like one time the computer breaks or something, okay. But also, this is a TV show, and we know that they have to have rights for any music that they have in the show, right? We know this. So where does the music come from? How does it get to Melissa? When did she get it? I really don't think that Melissa got their music on Monday and is just sitting on it. I think she started cutting it as soon as she got it. Otherwise she would be in trouble with Abby, right? So who's holding the music? Was it not chosen till Friday night? Could they choreograph a dance and get costumes without knowing what music it was going to be?
Music. Where's my music? Music's always getting lost at the studio.
Music's always getting lost. It's not lost. They just didn't have it. Is this normal? Who's been holding the music till Friday night? Why would someone do that?
I mean, I don't even have music yet. Every day this week, I checked in to see if Paige's music was cut.
She only says Paige, so Brooke at least maybe knew what song it was. This was 2011, so there were ways to hear a song. Maybe not to burn a CD of it, but probably to find it somewhere and at least hear it. But it sounds like Paige and maybe Mia also didn't even know what the song sounded like at all. They had no idea. How hard would that be to learn a routine with no music and then on stage hear the music for the first time and be able to do the routine in time with the music? That sounds crazy difficult. I don't think I could do that. That's different parts of the brain. So we hear Kelly saying that it was the night before the competition and Paige still hadn't heard her music. Why would someone want that? How does that help us pick up quickly? Abby hates this last minute crap. And also, Kelly did her part. She checked in every day to see about the music. She was being actively involved. I wonder if Holly also checked in every day to see if Mia's music was ready. Who told them, nah, we don't have it?
All right, well, if Abby comes out at all, can you just tell her that I need to talk to her?
Yes.
Is that how we usually talk to customers at the front desk? Is Melissa painting Kenzie's fingernails here? Or her shirt? But I like how the cameraman was like, oh, we gotta get this, what Melissa's doing while Kelly's talking to her. If I were Kelly right here, I would be a little annoyed. She's a paying customer, and Melissa is the front desk person. This looks like an employee not caring about a customer's concerns, just waiting until it was over. And that would be frustrating. We see some of the class Abby is giving.
When we don't have music to rehearse to, we have to use counts like 5, 6, 7, 8. But it's not as fun when we don't have music.
So not only does not having music make it more difficult to learn the routine, but it also takes the fun out of it. So they're not having fun in rehearsal when they could be having more fun in rehearsal. Who would want them to not have fun in rehearsal? If it is done with intention, why would one do that? We go back to the studio. Abby is in her spot.
Now we're doing acro?
Yes, can you believe it?
So we're seeing a pattern here that they take some type of specialty class the night before competition. But I think especially if they just got their music, can they not just run it a couple of times with the music? But Abby has faith in them and they're ready, because she would never put something on stage that wasn't ready.
We are supposed to be competing new solos, and she needs to get these kids who are dancing this weekend to rehearse their solo.
Yeah, I agree. At least run it once, or at least the ones who just got their music. Literally, when are they supposed to practice it with the music? Christi continues that it's 7:30, and Holly says, I know, it's the night before a competition. Then we see Abby give a correction. She says it a bit lackadaisically. Woo, that was scary. Straighten your legs. It's a lot of hard work, this acro class she's teaching.
I'm in the middle of teaching an acrobatic class. The mothers were not confident in their children, which saddens me.
What? I don't think this is about them not having confidence in their children. It's about not having music to rehearse to, and only having one session to learn the routine, to know music, and then doing an acro class the night before the competition. If you're sad about it, is there something that you could do to make the moms feel more confident about it?
I have more faith in their kid than they do.
Abby says that the moms want their kids to practice on their solos so that they're going to get on stage and do for 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Instead of learning how to dance, then they could learn a combination like that and get on stage and perform it.
I get that they need to learn how to dance. That's what dance class is. But they are competing tomorrow and they haven't practiced to the music. We can do both. We should do both.
So obviously she's not going to perform very well when she's the youngest age in the category and she has no music.
And she hasn't had any super secret privates.
Exactly.
Yeah, poor Paige. How is she supposed to do well with this brand new solo, her first solo, and she hasn't even heard the music yet? What if the music, doesn't sync up well with the counts she's been using? How is she supposed to adjust for that on stage for the first time by herself, in front of everyone? That's so scary. Christi says in an interview that she absolutely thinks that Maddie got more time than anybody, that she got those extra rehearsal times in there. Well, yeah, that's true, because she's known both of her solos for weeks and still had super secret privates to work on them. I see why Christi would be upset. It doesn't sound fair.
I work really hard, and that sometimes makes me tired, but that doesn't stop me from dancing.
What did they ask her there? Do you think you dance too much? Or work too hard? Does dancing make you tired? Maddie does work really hard, and all those extra super secret privates. That's Maddie working. So she works extra from the other girls, on top of how hard they all work. She is doing the work. It's a lot of work. Which is kind of like how in school sometimes if you're gifted or doing really well in school, you get more work. But is that good? You're doing really well. Here's more. We hear Holly in the mezzanine ask, when are we going to start running dances? Let's get started. So that sounds like they think that after this acro class, they're going to run their dances. Were they told they were going to run the dances after the acro class? Or is she just asking generally? We hear Abby say,
I think everybody's ready to do their solos. Paige does not have her music, but her solo looks great.
does she mean they're ready to go on stage or they're ready to practice? Is not having music being ready? Kelly says, you know what, guys?
This is ridiculous. I'm going down and getting Paige and telling her to run her solo with Emma.
I don't have a problem with there being an acro class at this time. I don't even have a problem with Abby doing the acro class at this time. But I do think that if the students who are competing tomorrow would like to run their solos, and there are extra rooms, I don't have a problem with them going to a different room and practicing their solos. They could just go in one at a time or something with their music and just run it a couple of times and hear their music. If there's 6 students and 7 solos and they're 2.5 minutes each, it would take 17 minutes. How ironic. Abby can't take 17 minutes to let them all run their solos with their music?
I mean, otherwise
Good, and
might
then
as well
pull
go
Brooke
home.
in after, and then put me in, and then I'll bring up the rear.
I like that attitude.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with this. They should be able to do that. Abby doesn't need to do it. The moms are willing and able. And also, I like how Christi said all the other kids could go next, and then she would get Chloe last. I don't think that they're asking for too much here. They're asking for what should be happening anyway. It's solos week. They should practice their solos, like at least once a day that they're there. It's okay to have the other classes too, but they should also practice the dance that they're competing tomorrow. It's not one or the other. They need both. So Kelly goes downstairs to the front desk where Melissa works. The clock on the wall says 7:46. So she asked when they first got there. So it's been another hour and a half and still no music.
Melissa, can I have Paige's music?
It's downloading. It's been downloading for 14 minutes.
Melissa seems very frustrated here. So Kelly walked in at 6:04 and asked about music, and Melissa didn't start downloading it until 7:32? Why? Literally, why? Did she not know what song it was? Did it not get to the computer until 7:30? Abby's been in class, so Abby didn't send it at 7:30. She had paper in her hands, not a phone. I don't think you could send music via phone in 2011. I guess only Melissa knows when she received the music, but Kelly has a right to be upset about it.
I mean, Paige is 10. She needs to run her dance to her music. And it was Friday night, 8 o'clock, and I still had no music for Paige. And we were competing the next morning.
You could see the computer screen in that clip. It says it has 50 seconds left. It's called You Do Short Edit Final, JP. It was 1.8 megabytes, and it came from an AOL email and was transferring at a rate of 5.74 kilobytes per second. Math is hard. I don't know if it really took 15 minutes to download. We don't know who emailed it. Are anyone's initials JP? Who did the editing on the song? Twice. How long did they have the song? There's also another computer screen, and Melissa's using a laptop. Whose laptop is it? Is it Melissa's? Is it Abby's?
This wireless is so slow. Still 3 minutes.
God, everything is always so last minute.
But why? Abby hates this last minute crap. But we're hearing that everything is always last minute, so...
She teaching acro?
I don't know.
Shouldn't Melissa know what class is running right now? She works there, she schedules the classes. Wait. Or is this like a deflection because Kelly is upset about the music? So then Christi says, since when do we do a 5-hour acro class the night before a competition? A 5-hour acro class? Why? That's a lot of acro. Did they have any breaks?
Hiding in there doing an acro class.
Who's hiding?
Abby, because she knows that our kids need to rehearse.
Why would Abby want to teach a 5-hour acro class the night before a competition of solos that are not acrobatic?
Like my daughter rehearsed with her private today with Matt.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. Melissa isn't worried about not rehearsing tonight because Maddie already knows her solos.
But at least you got to rehearse.
Well, I have a standing private every week, so...
So standing here would mean like it happens every week and can't be changed? Well, that's great that Maddie got to rehearse the solo she already knew today with Matt at her standing private. Does anyone else have standing private lesson time slots? Did Kenzie get to rehearse her solo today? Does Kenzie have music yet?
I'm still waiting for Paige's music.
If I were Kelly here, I would really be thinking of just pulling the solo. Like, this is kind of ridiculous. Kelly could have gone to the store and bought a CD. She could have ordered one from that mail thing and would have gotten it faster. I would be thinking, what is the point?
You guys don't realize what I do for your kids.
I believe that Melissa does do a lot for the kids. I believe that Melissa is doing the music as soon as she gets the music. I don't think Melissa is the one getting the music late, but no one said that. They're not mad at Melissa about this. They're not taking it out on her. They're just asking for their music. They're just asking if they can go rehearse their kid with their kid's music.
I mean, I work,
No one's saying you don't do for the kids.
Right, exactly. That's not at all what they said. But also, Melissa hasn't said anything like, I just got the email an hour ago. So we really don't know why they didn't have music until 8 on Friday night.
But we also know that there are things that our kids don't benefit from either. Just throwing the cards on the table.
That's an interestingly worded statement. linguistically, that would mean that Holly is saying that Melissa working at the front desk doesn't always benefit their kids. When did Kenzie get her music?
Typically, when there's a conflict or confrontation, Melissa has a tendency to deflect. Melissa always has something else that she's willing to talk about that's not the topic that you want to talk about.
I feel like we have seen this a little bit from Melissa, and also from other people too. Who else likes to change the topic of conversation?
And when we go to competitions, Gianna's like your own personal helper.
But she would do anything for any of the kids because
But
she
she
loves our
doesn't.
girls.
She only does it for Maddie.
Is this the first time Gianna has actually been mentioned? We saw her when Abby was on the phone with the police, but this is our, introduction to her on the show. Christi saying that she only helps Maddie at competitions, and Melissa saying that she would do anything for any of the girls. I guess we'll see.
The point is we need our kids out of that room and in B running their dances.
Please.
So Melissa is at work right now. She's an employee. She has customers that are upset, and this is her response. She's annoyed with them for talking to her, but she's literally the employee at the front desk. Who are they supposed to talk to about this? Abby's in class.
I just feel that the moms don't like me because my daughter is a great dancer, and they kind of hold that against me. They don't realize what I do behind the scenes.
No, actually, that's not what they said at all. We don't know when that was filmed, so we don't really know what Melissa meant there. But what they said has nothing to do with Maddie. Maddie already knows her solos. They're talking about all the other kids. As the employee here, is there nothing that Melissa can say? Not well, acro is supposed to end at blah blah, so they'll probably run their solos then. And it sounds like Studio B or whatever is empty right now. So could she not tell them that they could go in there? Could she not say, well, I'll go ask Abby? There's nothing that she can say as the employee to the customers. Did Abby not tell her how long the acro class is going to be? Nothing? There's no kind of resolution we can come to here? Was she told to just ignore them? Also, I think it's interesting that in the middle of that clip, they put footage of Maddie's cry solo, the one she's supposed to compete tomorrow. They're reminding us that she already competed and won with it.
If they didn't have me at the studio, things wouldn't get done.
I believe this is a true sentence. I do think that Melissa probably does more than a regular front desk person hired off the street would do. She went to find Cathy a bow earlier and stuff. And here I feel like she is doing what she's supposed to do. But that doesn't mean that it's fair to all the kids. That's a separate issue.
It's just how they are. They're just little bitches.
No, I think they were handling it pretty well. They're upset, yes, but they're not being bitchy about it. But we also don't know when that was filmed. We don't even see her say it, so who knows who she was really calling bitches. She could have been talking about some female ducks she saw at the mall. We don't know.
Her CDs are ready.
Where's Melissa going? But she works at the front desk and there are customers there. Oh, she's going to talk to Abby.
I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of them saying, oh, it's all about Maddie, it's all about Maddie. Maddie's in class!
No. Actually, that's not correct at all. No one said that. Melissa said that Maddie had a rehearsal today. No one else said anything about Maddie. It's not about Maddie. It's fine that Maddie is in class. She already knows her solos. Unless the mom said something that we didn't see, that is completely false information that Melissa just gave to Abby. How did that get so twisted on the walk into the studio? What did I miss?
They all want to learn their solos.
No.
Well, at least she finally told Abby what the customers really said. Kind of. They were fine taking their kids by themselves. They weren't even asking for Abby to go with them. They just want their kids in a different room working on their solos that they're competing tomorrow. And Abby says no. So it seems that Abby is making a conscious decision here to not allow the girls to work on their solos. Why?
I work my ass off for these mothers, and all they do is bitch at me.
Oh, well, maybe she was talking about the moms. Interesting that she used the same descriptor. Wait, does she mean that she does her job? She works there. She's an employee. They are customers. And she just left them and went and told on them for being bitches, for wanting their kids to go to a different room for 2.5 minutes each. And they're sitting there like they're waiting for the principal, just waiting for the employee to return and tell them what's going on. I don't know how all jobs work, but most jobs I know about, you don't leave your assigned area. You can't just walk away and go tell the boss the customers are bitches.
This is it for me. I'm sick of them.
The customers? Is she quitting her job right now?
These mothers are going to be the death of me.
So I kind of feel like Abby was given bad intel there. The mothers didn't say anything about Maddie, but Abby was told that they were complaining about Maddie.
I run their daughter's numbers between classes.
Oh, okay, well that would be fine, but they've been in this acro class for 5 hours. So does she mean, between what then? I feel like she should be able to say this, like, hey, we're gonna do acro for 2 hours, and then 2 solos, and then acro for 2 hours, and then 2 solos. Something like that. But the moms don't seem to know what time this acro class ends. So they're right to be like, so when are we running the solos? This isn't rocket surgery, they're 2-minute numbers. There are 7 of them. That's 17.5 minutes. Or a 5-hour acro class. Yeah.
They just need to trust me and let me do my job.
That's what they want. Abby to do her job. That's what they're asking for. They want music and rehearsal time at dance class. While Abby was saying this, we see the moms walk through the studio to the den where Abby now is. This scene is a little interesting. Watch Abby's hands.
Are they going to be able to continue running the solos with you, Abby?
Maddie had a half-hour private with Matt Saffron, her tap teacher, today. Chloe came in today. Emma worked with her.
Okay, so Abby grabs Maddie's arm and pulls her up to stand, and then Abby grabs Chloe's arm and pulls her up to stand. Why did she have to grab their arms like that? Like she's parading them? Look at this one, now look at this one. And, oh, okay. But that's only 2 of the 6. What about the other students? Also here, I would like to include something that Christi said in a video recently that she made answering some Maxi Boss questions.
Forgets or maybe doesn't realize is our girls before the show weren't with Abby the entire time they were at the studio. In fact, they did not see her very often. The teachers at the studios that our kids were exposed to more were like their tap teacher, their ballet teacher, their acro, their jazz teacher, their legs and feet, jumps and turns. Our exposure to like all of the negativity wasn't as much as or in your face as when we were on the show.
I think that's really important to know. What we're seeing during the show is like that they're with Abby like 12 hours a day, every day. But previous to the show starting, they maybe saw her occasionally, like at the desk walking through or in the den, but they weren't working directly with Abby, so they didn't know things until the show had already started. They're kind of finding it out the same time the viewer is. Like this is all actually unfolding how we see it, except it's their real lives. That's really, really important information that Christi gave us. And we kind of just saw that in this episode, with Abby saying that both Maddie and Chloe worked on their solos with teachers other than Abby.
But she's learning a whole new dance.
Now here, Chloe's face does look like she's confused, like she wasn't worried about her solo, which is good. We were kind of maybe more talking about the other kids, the ones that don't even have music yet, you know, those ones. Then we hear Abby say that all the moms were in a tizzy because they don't have their solo rehearsal time and they don't have the right solo music. Well, yeah, I think those are fair things to be upset about. So let's work on that. Abby continues and says, like, Chloe learned a new routine.
And her mother's, oh my God, she's the only one that has a new routine, BS.
Well, yeah, that is BS. We know that Chloe isn't the only one with a new routine. They all have new routines, except Maddie. That's not the issue here. They just want to rehearse with music. That's all they said. If you went to the ice cream shop and said, I would like some ice cream and a spoon, and they said, BS. Okay.
There's no way that because she ran it twice to new music that she's going to be able to compete on Saturday. I'm worried about that.
That was very well stated. Holly is clearly communicating her concerns. So what does Abby say?
Everybody in town is going to this particular competition.
Well, yeah, it's a competition. Wait, what? That's not what Holly wants to talk about.
So I want my best foot forward.
Okay, well, the only one who is actually what I would call ready is Maddie, twice. So what are we saying here?
They need to have faith in their daughters and faith in my training.
Oh, there's that word again. Twice. Just have faith. You don't need music and rehearsal time. Just have faith in Abby's teachings.
I didn't just fall off the turnip truck, you know. I've been doing this for 25 years.
Well, yeah, we know that, Abby. No one is saying that you haven't been doing this for 25 years. The kids haven't been doing this for 25 years. Can they just get some music and rehearsal time? Just 17 minutes?
Is this preparation for an audition? Yes. Is this good for all of them? Absolutely.
What? So this is not having music the night before a competition and only running your new routine twice. So this is preparation for an audition? Because at an audition you don't already know the dance? But this isn't an audition, it's a competition. But, so it seems like Abby's doing this intentionally? That this week is intentionally organized to not give them music and rehearsal time? But why? Why would you do that?
All right.
Still not rehearsing.
Melissa left first there. Like as soon as Abby said, all right, she was out of that room. I guess she has to get back to work at the front desk. So we have no resolution and no more rehearsal time. Well, all right, it's competition day. They're all arriving to the studio to get on the bus. Melissa is saying that they're going to a local competition.
These are important because the more of these local competitions Abby's kids win, the better for her because she might get more kids from this.
From the 6-episode series and going to local competitions, Abby might get more students. Well, hooray for that. While they're getting on the bus, Abby is explaining that the judges at this competition are tough. They're going to be looking at choreography, technique, precision, performance, and then the costume. So, how exactly are we supposed to get good technique, precision, and performance scores if we've only run Mia's solo twice and Paige got her music at bedtime last night? Especially the precision scores. Precision is something that takes practice. The only one who had enough time to work on precision is Maddie. So this should be interesting. I wonder what will happen. We hear Kelly say that she and all the moms are in agreement that they are not prepared. Does Melissa feel prepared? How long did Kenzie have her music? How many runs did she get?
Maddie had a lot of practice because she has scheduled privates every week, but not all of us have private lesson time slots.
Why not? Whose decision is that? We've heard that Maddie has a lot of privates. We've seen a couple of Vivi's privates. Does no one else get private lesson time slots? Why not? Wouldn't all the team members at least have the same amount of time? Otherwise, it's not really a team, is it? Then Abby takes attendance on the bus while it's already moving, which seems a little pointless. I guess it's good to know if you forgot someone, but the bus is already steady on the road.
Nia?
Here.
Mackenzie?
Here.
Maddie?
Here.
And Ann?
Not here.
You forgot a few. Are Paige and Chloe on the bus? Is Brooke? I guess because she answered. I think it's interesting the camera shows Christi like sleeping, because she would have been like, Chloe, is Chloe here? So they had to be on the bus already, long enough for Christi to fall asleep. Good time to take attendance. No, you should take attendance as they get on the bus. Now is kind of too late to forget somebody, but okay.
The mothers want me to be part of the team by riding with them on the bus.
The only reason I could see this really being a problem is because they do get ready on the bus, and allegedly sometimes they even learn their dances on the bus. But they really shouldn't be doing that, even just for safety. I know you're allowed to walk around on a bus, but you really shouldn't. You could get very hurt if something happens to the bus and you are upstanding or putting eye makeup on. Cathy, driving is probably a lot safer for Vivi, just in general, than walking around on a bus.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm gonna have to be a rebel on this one.
I really feel like she's talking to the person behind the camera and putting her foot down and keeping some control of the situation, which I understand.
I don't ride the buses.
Well, that may change, but okay. On the bus, Abby says, "Here we go, girls, arms up," as they go through a tunnel. It's kinda cute, trying to have fun on the bus. We arrive to the competition. It says it's 7:35 a.m. We see some of the other dancers performing. Abby checks them in and gets the program and such. It says 55 minutes later when Cathy arrives. So it's 8:30. That seems fine. They go into their dressing room and start getting ready with their light up makeup mirrors.
Girls, break a leg. Please make me proud out there. Alrighty?
Okay. That's an okay pep talk, I guess. Not really anything constructive, but I guess that's nice.
Really pissed. This competition was set up from the get-go that it wasn't going to be a fair fight.
I agree, it's very much not a fair fight. But whose fault is that? Who made it not a fair fight? Christi continues and says that Abby entering 2 solos for Maddie makes perfect sense. It makes sense to me too. I do think that Abby would do that. Christi continues and says that Abby keeps saying that we're in our own backyard. She has a reputation to protect. She wants everybody to do well. But that Abby only cares if Maddie does well. Because if Maddie wins the overall, then Abby looks good. Which is true. If Maddie wins, then Abby wins. She really only needs 1 solo to win, to be a winner. I do believe that Abby wants them all to do well, some without music or rehearsal time. Of course Maddie should do well. She's known both of her solos for weeks.
I don't see why it wouldn't be fair for my daughter to do 2 solos.
I agree that this situation isn't Maddie's fault. Having 2 solos is hard work. But I think we can all mostly agree that this is not fair, the way in which all of this week has gone. It's not just that Maddie has 2 solos. The unfairness is in that she didn't have to learn either of them this week. Melissa not being able to understand that is a little something. I don't think Maddie should pull one of her solos, but to not understand at all why this is unfair, Melissa continues that it's really none of the other mom's business what her daughter is doing, which I get, except that this is a team. Team members should be treated equally. They should have equal time, equal responsibilities. We see Maddie's tap solo first. During her dance, we get a clip of Melissa, Gianna, and Abby in the audience. Notice the body language and how uncomfortable it would be to be Gianna right here. I feel uncomfort. Who grabbed whose hand? If you're gonna hold hands, why over Gianna? Let's just remember this. We hear Maddie say that what she's best at is tap and lyrical, and that she's won a lot of awards for her solos that are tap and lyrical, and that this is the first year she's doing a lyrical dance, and last year she did a jazz dance, but she's never went for a title with that. So she has done tap solos before. This is her interview segment with Kenzie, so I don't know when this was filmed, if she's actually talking about the competition that we are seeing, or just in general about her solo history. We hear Abby say that she was very impressed with Maddie, that her
taps were clear as a bell. Beautiful performance.
It was a good performance. Maddie did a great job. We see Kenzie's solo next. It's cute. We hear her say that she's a mouse, she has a really long tail, and it gets
in the way sometimes when I do some tricks.
Oh, it is a cute solo, but it is a long tail too. We see Kenzie excitedly run down the hallway to Melissa. Melissa says, "You were so good, I'm so proud of you." We see Kenzie say in her interview that she can tumble forever, she loves it. Back in the hallway, Melissa tells her that everyone was clapping for her, and Kenzie says, "I know, I heard." It's cute. We hear Cathy say that Vivi's solo is coming up, and she's extremely nervous, that she wants to see Vivi do a good job.
And I'm also excited for her because she looks as adorable as a honeybee can possibly look.
It is cute. Cathy appears to be in the audience for Vivi's performance this time, instead of counting from the wings, which is probably good. It only took a couple of weeks for that to change. While Vivi's dancing, we hear Abby say that choreographically, she challenged Vivian. She taught her new steps, new acrobatic tricks that really
jacked up the level of difficulty in the routine.
I'm not a dancer, but it looks kind of similar to what Vivi performed before, but it probably did have new tricks and stuff. This is Cathy's face as she's watching, presumably. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. While she's making that face, we see Vivi kind of, I guess, showing her stinger. You know, because it's all about the butt. I didn't say it, Abby said it. But Vivi is cute, so it's a cute performance. She finishes her performance and we see Cathy in the hallway going to meet her. Cathy hugs her. She says something like, "I don't know about that, huh?" There are a couple of girls in the hallway, and one says something like, "Oh, there's a TV," like the cameras. So they go a different way. Cathy puts Vivi back down and says, "You know, you danced about 8 counts ahead of the music." Which is why they need to be able to practice to the music. Vivi says, "I know." Cathy says, "Yeah, like what happened there?" And Vivi shrugs and then says, "I fell." She did fall a little, they show us again. Cathy says, "You fell? You slipped?" Which is why they need to be able to practice with their costumes. Cathy says, "I don't know, honey, I'm not pleased with what you did." And then she doesn't think that Abby will be either. That they're gonna have to go home and go back and practice more. At first I thought she didn't mean Vivi. I thought she meant like she didn't like the choreography. But maybe not. Then she kind of turns Vivi's head back toward her and says that they're going to have to go back home and practice more. Back home. Which, I mean, yeah, okay. I don't think that Vivi wants to have this conversation in the hallway in front of the cameras and the girls that notice they're on TV. But maybe Vivi thought she did great. But maybe Cathy is again like putting some distance because she says that they're going to have to go back home to practice, like at home. We hear Vivi say in an interview that
my mom wants me to dance even more than I want to.
Well, yeah, it does seem that way at this point. Cathy finishes the hallway conversation by saying that, but you know what, we're gonna get it. And she hugs Vivi. We hear Vivi say that she loves her mom a lot.
I like to dance because it makes my mom happy.
Cathy says, let's go change, and they walk away. We hear Cathy say in an interview that it's been difficult for her, feeling like they're truly a part of this Abby Lee experience, because no matter how she tries to fit in, she and Vivi are not part of their history. Well, I think the other girls and moms knew each other. They weren't part of one junior elite competition team, but they did all dance there, I think, whereas Vivi hasn't. But the team is new, so I think eventually maybe it could work out. But again, I think Cathy is talking like to the producers and putting the distance and all these reasons out there so that she can eventually leave. But maybe I'm reading too far into it. Brooke's solo is next. She's doing a great job. It's an acrobatic routine. There are some acrobatic-y moves. And then she does a chin stand, and this is the audience response. I hear Brooke say that when she does the chin stand, there was a line of tape on the floor where she was supposed to turn, and her neck
got stuck on the tape and it like gave me a big brush burn. So I have scars all over my chin.
You can see that her neck is red. I don't like the chin stands. It looks like it hurts. Like it would always be painful to do that. She shouldn't have scars from dance class. But she did a great job. I think the song choice is really interesting here. I don't know if the song that we hear is actually the same song that Brooke danced to, but the song that we hear is very pretty. But like right after we hear her say that she has scars all over her chin, the lyrics that we hear are, I am fragile and I am weak. If you wanted to, you could break me. Which is good editing, but what are we supposed to learn here? Who chose this song? So Brooke finishes her solo. She walks into the hallway where Kelly hugs her. We hear Kelly say that she was really nervous about Brooke going on and her hip being hurt, that she wasn't sure how well she would be able to perform, but she did great and she
pulled it off, and I was nervous, but she knew what she was doing.
So this looks like the dress and the auditorium from last week, which would explain why Kelly said it was her hip, when we clearly just saw that today it was her chin. So that's too much injuries for Brooke. I don't like that. I think just because she can do all of these acrobatic contortionist type movements doesn't mean that she should have to do them all the time. Does she even like them? Does she like chin stands and turning around on her neck? Nia's solo is next. We hear Holly saying that knowing that Nia has just learned a solo, she is not feeling great about this performance at all.
I worry that she's going to freeze on stage.
Oh, she'll be okay. Nia goes on, she's doing great. We hear her saying that she's excited for her solo because in the past few weeks she's really improved a lot. That's great. I'm glad that she is feeling comfortable with this solo, that she ran twice to new music. She did a great job. Nia finishes her solo. She runs to the hallway and meets Holly for a hug. We hear her say in an interview that she forgot part of her
solo on stage, so I kind of made up the rest
of it. Well, that's good that she kept dancing. I feel like this gets mentioned later, but Nia forgot on stage, so she made something up and kept dancing. Perhaps if she had run it more than twice, she wouldn't have forgotten. In the hallway, Holly says, I'm so proud of you. It's sweet. They're both very happy. Next, we see Paige's solo. We hear her say that when she's backstage, she's really nervous.
Because I'm scared I'm going to forget my dance before I go on.
And that it makes her forget it more if she
really get rushed up about it.
So we're kind of hearing that their biggest fear is forgetting their dance on stage. Maybe they need more rehearsal time. We hear Kelly saying that for Paige to learn a solo and perform it in 2 days, that makes Kelly nervous for her. Yeah, I'm nervous for her too. So she learned her solo 2 days ago and got her music last night, at least after 8 p.m.
But hopefully she just goes out there and uses her personality and charms the judges.
Yeah, hopefully. So Paige starts her solo. It's going well. She has lots of energy. She seems to be enjoying it. So it could be that she hasn't really practiced with the music. Maybe the music distracted her. To me, though, it really looks like she sees something in the audience that distracts her, like she's looking at someone. Only Paige knows, but she forgets the next step, or she got off with the music, and she freezes. You can see the panic in her face, the fidgeting with the arms. I know, like, being on stage is scary, but this is a fear response. Like, fear. She tries to do a few more moves, but it's been too much time now, and she doesn't know what to do. They turn the music off. We hear Abby say that Paige was like a deer in the headlights. We get this iconic Abbyism.
That hasn't happened to me in 25 years.
Nothing happened to you. Paige got scared on stage. Also, what happened 25 years ago? A student who had no music or rehearsal time forgot their dance on stage?
I was sick to my stomach. It's humiliating.
Christi and Holly and even Gianna look scared, what Abby is going to do to Paige. So this shows that Kelly is trying to help Paige and just tell her, like, it's fine, just leave. But it also kind of means that Paige can see them, you know? So Paige decides to just go off stage, which at this point is probably best. The competition probably would have let her do it again, because they turned off the music before Paige left the stage. The announcer says to give her a nice round of applause and make her feel very comfortable. Which is nice of him to say. He doesn't have to say anything, but he tried to make it better. Which makes me think that they would have let her do it again. But I don't know if that would help. Like, it's too late. She's too brushed up about it.
There's no excuse. You should remain on stage and continue dancing.
Well, that's easy to say as an audience member, or as someone who knew the music before last night. So we kind of follow Paige running through the hallway and through all the places and back into the auditorium to find Kelly, who picks her up, and Paige is crying.
It was humiliating for me as a teacher, number one. And number two, she should be humiliated.
I mean, linguistically, I think Paige is humiliated, but why did this happen? Why did she not know her solo well enough to keep going? Why was she so scared? It is on the teacher, so the teacher should feel bad, especially if the music was intentionally withheld from the student. That's not fair. One should feel humiliated for doing that to a child. Kelly carries Paige back to the dressing room. Kelly says it's okay and starts taking her makeup off, and Paige is crying.
You looked beautiful for what you did too.
I know I did.
Yes, you did.
I even missed my tuck.
You were perfect.
So I put this part in because later we have a situation where one of the dads from a different studio says to the son that he was perfect, and a lot of comments were upset because it clearly wasn't a perfect performance. So let's remember this for later. But I think it's okay that Kelly said that. Paige did do a great job for the parts that she did do, She tried really hard with what she was given. Kelly continues and says, "Don't worry about it, Paige. It's a dance. Who cares?" Which is true and a good attitude to have. It's just one dance. It's not that big of a deal for Kelly. Like, she's not in the least upset with Paige for forgetting it and not being perfect. But Paige is really upset about it. And she says, "So what? It was my own solo, though." I feel like forgetting your solo is better than forgetting the group dance, right? She didn't, like, ruin the dance for anyone else. But she feels like she should have done it right because it was her own solo.
I know, but it's not your fault that it was messed up.
We all know what Kelly means here, and I agree with her. It is not Paige's fault at all. But this has to be a little confusing for Paige in this moment. She's got to be thinking, like, well, then whose fault is it? I messed up. Like, what do you mean it would be someone else's fault? Kelly says, "Right? Don't you agree with me?"
You got your music last night at what, 8:30? And went home and went to bed and were expected to rush in here and compete it.
Yeah, that's not fair. It's not enough time to learn a routine for a competition. Yes, in an audition you have 5 minutes, but this is not an audition. When you go to an audition, you're prepared for an audition. You know that you're only going to get 5 minutes. They know that you only got 5 minutes. That's completely different than a competition. And why the rushing? Why are they always rushed? It reminds me of the way that Cathy said, "Jump on a bus." Like, everything is always super high, panicky, all the time. Then Paige says that she wants to go home, which is really sad, and Kelly sadly says, "We can't go home." Why can't they leave? Because they rode the bus. Kelly doesn't have a car there. I don't think Uber was a thing yet, so they kind of are stuck. Like, I think Brooke would be fine with leaving, even if she hasn't really done her solo yet. So it's not that that's keeping them from leaving. Kelly comforts Paige as Kelly looks directly at someone, to me, in a way that looks like, do you see what this is doing to the children? The camera does continue to move around them and pull in towards Paige's face as she's crying. I don't mean that Kelly was looking at the cameraman. The cameraman is just doing his job and getting the shots that he's told to get. It's not the cameraman's fault. He can't leave either. We see a couple of dancers on stage, and then we see Maddie in a big open hallway practicing her solo cry. Then immediately to the dressing room, where Chloe is practicing her solo, in a tiny area in front of a mirror. Notice the difference. The editing, though, putting the moves together, it's a great shot. It also shows us a very stark contrast. Well, now Maddie is at her light-up makeup mirror working on her hair.
Maddie, it's fine. Stop putting pins in it. It looks ridiculous. There's 50 bobby pins in it.
Well, maybe she's afraid it will fall out on stage, so she just keeps putting pins in it. It's her hair. Maddie gets up and walks away as Melissa is saying, "Let me see," and Maddie leaves the room.
She wants everything to be perfect all the time, the kid. I can't stand it. I gotta just stay away from her right now.
Maddie left the room. I wonder why she would want everything to be perfect. Maddie walks down the hallway, and I guess this is when she goes to practice in the hallway by herself, but now the camera is on the floor. It's a beautiful cinematic shot. After Melissa just said that she wants everything to be perfect, and then she goes to practice by herself in a big empty hallway.
I'm kind of nervous. There's a little bit more pressure on me.
I suppose if this is after Paige's solo, there is a little bit more pressure now for the ones who go after to be perfect.
Because I want to win the same thing as Chloe, and maybe even more.
I wonder how they asked her. Like, what did they ask her there? We go back to the dressing room. Chloe is practicing in front of the mirror with Christi right there watching. Melissa walks in and says that Maddie is on in 3, and to Kenzie to come on, we gotta go see your sister.
I am so fed up with the BS. Melissa needs to pull Maddie's second solo. It's not fair.
No, it's not fair, but I don't think Melissa has the permission to pull a solo. Would that work? It's kind of too late. She goes on in 3. But I get why Christi is fed up. So Christi follows Melissa out to the hallway and calls her from far away. Like Melissa's almost to the door already. She's walking really fast. She turns and says, yeah, and Christi stops. Like it's too late at this point, so Melissa just keeps walking and goes into the auditorium to watch Maddie's solo.
I guess she's letting her dance. And I called her and she ignored me.
Well, Melissa did say yeah, but then Christi stopped, so Melissa went on. Did Melissa walk fast on purpose? Maybe. But what is she supposed to do? She wants to watch Maddie's second solo.
No one has a chance in hell of winning against Maddie. She has 2 solos. She already has twice as good of a chance as anyone else.
Yeah, I think we can all mostly agree that this isn't really fair. But here we are. So Maddie goes to the stage. We hear her say that she's kind of nervous, that she has to make sure that she's on the right timing for her music, which is interesting. The other students were worried about forgetting their routine. Maddie is worried about being on the right timing with the music. She's not worried about forgetting it. She's more worried about how clean it's going to be. She continues that there's a lot of pressure on her.
Because I really want to win first.
Well, that's good that she wants to win first place. She goes on stage and performs her iconic solo Cry, complete with the Maddie face at the end. It's a great solo. It's a great song. It pops in my head sometimes. It's great. Maddie did a great job. She goes off stage and runs down the same hallway they all have been, and Melissa says, "Good job, baby." Melissa has Maddie's hand and is kind of pulling her while they're walking. They're walking fast. Chloe is in the hallway and reaches out to Maddie. She wants to congratulate her, and Melissa sees this and keeps walking, and Chloe runs to catch up with them, and Melissa stops and lets them hug for a second. While this is happening, we hear her say that Christi's mad that Abby put 2 solos in for Maddie. Well, we know that. I sure hope that she didn't snub Chloe in the hallway because Christi's mad at Abby, because that's kind of what it looks like, and that would not be fair. Maybe she was just in a hurry. Maybe it's just the editing.
Maddie does 2 solos at every single competition we go to, and she has for the last 2 years.
Now here I get a little confused. I kind of believe her that Maddie does 2 solos at most every competition they go to and has for the last 2 years. So, they weren't a team 2 years ago. They danced at Abby's, but there wasn't this junior elite competition team. That just started. So maybe the other moms don't know that Maddie always does 2 solos? But then why didn't Melissa just say that? Like way back at lunch when Christi asked about it. Why didn't Melissa just say, Maddie always does 2 solos? We don't hear this information, which I think is kind of important, until after Christi is mad. Until after Maddie does both solos. Why? It would be pretty easy to prove if it's true that Maddie always, or even just often, competes 2 solos. Now it's Chloe's turn. Maddie is with her backstage. The captions say that Maddie said, "I love you, Chloe," and Chloe says, "I love you too, Maddie." I can't actually hear that, but it's nice. I hope they did say that. It's interesting that Maddie said it first here, like she doesn't want Chloe to be mad at her. It's not Maddie's fault. So I'm glad that they can still be friends here. We hear Chloe say in an interview that right before she goes on stage, she gets
a little bit nervous, so I do my nutcrackle, but I just go through the dance really quick, and then I just and go on stage.
Nutcrackle is iconic. I'm going to call it that from now on. Now we see Chloe's solo Mother. It's good. It's mature, but not in the way that electricity was. It's like mature movements. It's kind of a darker piece, but it's good. Chloe likes the darker pieces. She does kind of bobble a turn. Here's Christi while Chloe's dancing. So it looks like Christi is disappointed with Chloe's performance, but I don't think that's what she's upset about. It could be partly because the solo is called Mother, so maybe she feels like more responsibility for it to go well. But I think what we're seeing is a mother who is disappointed and thinking that her child is not being treated fairly. This is real for Chloe. She doesn't understand all the things that go on behind the scenes with the adults. She's just dancing. And Christi is upset with what she thinks is unfair. So Melissa walks away like as the announcer is announcing Chloe's exit, like as soon as it's over. I guess she's in a hurry again.
I can't even look at Melissa. It's always all about her daughter and no one else. Our kids count too.
Yes, all kids count. And these kids are all on a team. So yes, they all count.
Good job, honey.
That sounded sincere. We hear Melissa say that she really doesn't care what Christi thinks.
She would do anything for her daughter to win. I don't do anything for my daughter to win. My daughter wins on her own.
It seems like Melissa there was done talking and maybe got some encouragement to continue talking. I guess it's okay. Well, I don't like absolutes, so I wouldn't say it's okay for a mother to do anything for her daughter to succeed. All Christi wanted was equal rehearsal time, equal opportunities to shine. But yes, Maddie wins a lot. Then we see awards. Chloe wins second place.
I don't like to lose, but I don't ever lose anyway.
Well, that's nice. Maddie wins first place. Well, she was right. She always wins.
Give a big round of applause.
Undefeated. Aren't you happy?
Congratulations, you guys. Take that big wacky bow.
Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't be really happy in this moment either if I were Christi. I mean, it's great that Chloe got second place, I guess, but it's like we knew that Maddie was going to win. She had 2 solos. She had twice as good a chance as everyone else.
Whatever.
You know what? She is not going to ruin this day.
Good.
But she didn't do anything to ruin the day. Melissa asked if she was happy. She said no, that's fine. That's her feelings.
This is not fair. Chloe was learning a dance 12 hours ago in a studio, and you expect a 9-year-old to go on stage and be flawless?
So that first line sounds a little different, although I agree with what she's saying, because Maddie already knew both of her solos. She wasn't learning it 12 hours ago. She already knew it. So who was going to win? The one who was learning it last night, or the one who had 2 that she knew for at least 2 weeks?
Our kids were set up to fail. I'm done. I don't want to say anything else.
It does kind of feel like a setup. I don't disagree with Christi's feelings here. Her feelings are valid. It's not fair. Who made it unfair? Well, Abby. But only Abby? I don't know. But good for Christi here for refusing to give them any more content and simply walking off camera. So after the awards, the girls run down the hallway to greet their mothers and Abby. Mostly everyone is very excited. They all get hugs and whatnot.
Abby, I think we need to talk.
I think that's fair. She asked nicely to speak to the teacher.
No, you're not going to ruin this day.
No, we need to talk, Abby, in the hallway now.
Well, how would talking to Christi ruin the day? Because Christi is mad about unfairness? I think it's fair that she is asking to speak to the teacher. She's calm. She's saying, let's go in the hallway, so she's trying not to make a scene in front of the kids. Christi is trying to handle it in the best way she can. Although I'm not sure that talking about it is going to change anything, but she's asking nicely.
Are you kidding? I'm a paying client and you won't speak to me.
Yeah, I mean, Abby is the teacher. A parent has something she wants to talk to the teacher about, and the teacher is refusing to talk to her. In any other similar type situation, how would this be handled? Kind of like with Melissa just leaving the front desk earlier. Is that how things really happen? Does the teacher just walk away from a parent who is wanting to speak?
No, nothing's worth that much money.
No, actually, it doesn't matter how much money. Christi is a paying customer, and the owner is refusing to speak to her. That's not okay. I would understand if Abby had said something more like, well, it's Sunday, let's set aside some time tomorrow to talk. Or let's talk on the bus, or, like literally anything. Give her anything. But no. Instead, Abby makes a comment like, it's not enough money to talk to a customer. Like, she could have even said something like, give me an extra 20 and I'll talk to you in the hallway. No? Nothing like that.
I think the worst thing that Christi can do
is ask to speak to you?
Is talk about me when her daughter is present.
That's not what is happening here at all. Like, at all. That would be like bad-mouthing at home. They're not at home. Christi's not saying anything negative about Abby. She's literally just asking to speak to Abby. We don't even know what she was planning on saying, because Abby is refusing to speak to her. But why, Abby? Why is that the worst thing that Christi could do?
I cannot get Chloe to trust me.
Well, why would someone not trust someone? Because someone else said something about them? That's not how trust gets broken, or never built. If there are trust issues between Chloe and Abby, it's probably because of Chloe or Abby,
If her mother doesn't trust me herself.
Oh, I see. Christi doesn't trust Abby. Well, again, why could that be? Okay, so at this point, Christi is mad. She tried to talk to Abby. Abby refused. So she walks back into the dressing room.
I'm so excited for you because she got the best.
We don't want to ruin the weighted victory.
So I think that's probably a good way to put this situation. It's a weighted victory. Maddie won, that's great. But we knew Maddie was probably going to win, so it's kind of weighted. It wasn't a fair scale. Maddie had a higher probability to win, for two really big reasons. So I feel like Christi, again, is trying really hard to handle this in the right way. She just wants to talk to Abby about the unfairness.
I'm not ruining today.
So how does talking to Christi equate to ruining the day? She's not trying to take away Maddie's win. She just wants to talk about the unfairness. How hard would it have been for Abby to just be like, what? And let Christi speak, and then move on. That's all Christi wants, to be heard, for her feelings to be acknowledged.
Abby, we need to go in the hallway.
So again, Christi asks to go in the hallway. She's trying really hard not to make a scene. And Abby is like, why is there alcohol? I don't know, Abby, but that's not what we were talking about.
Doing this in front of my daughter, Abby.
So, Christi is the one trying not to do this in front of your daughter, Melissa. She's trying to go to the hallway to talk. But Abby is talking about wine.
We can all go in the hallway because I tried to talk to you and I tried to talk to you personally.
She did. Christi has tried several times to talk to Melissa and Abby about this in a nice way. They both basically ignored her. So, what is she supposed to do? She's upset. She has a right to be upset. It's an upsetting situation.
Let's go in the hallway. I'm not going anywhere.
Just one.
So, if you won't go in the hallway to speak about it nicely, what do you think might happen next?
My daughter's happy.
Let's go in the hallway. Do you want to talk about all the things that need to be talked about?
I mean, that's what's going to happen next. The person is going to start talking about more stuff right there. Probably more stuff that they would have not if they had just been listened to in the first place. It really would have been better to just acknowledge the feelings and moved on. But no,
Not here, not now.
Well, see, the opportunity was there to talk about it somewhere else or to give a later time for it, but that wasn't done. So it's probably going to escalate.
You won't talk about it, and you won't talk about it.
I won't ever talk to you again.
Oh, so close. Just say, let's talk about it on Monday. Like, it would be over. But no.
Abby, I'm not talking about it. You're making my daughter cry, so shut it.
Talk about what?
Right, exactly. Literally, just ask her what she wants to talk about. Why is this escalating? It's really unnecessary. But here we are. It's about to escalate.
How many times has my daughter beat your daughter this year?
So this is not where we were supposed to be going here, but I don't think that was necessary to say. That's not what this is about. It's about unfairness, not how many times people have won. But I guess what Christi is getting at is that she feels like Chloe is being set up to be like the second best, and that that's not accurate. So from here, Christi says something that's bleeped, and that the win was stacked against them this weekend because Melissa did it. Maddie at this point is crying, and Gianna is comforting her.
Get out of here now. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Christi wanted. Let's go in the hallway and talk about it. That's not what's going to happen now, though.
Bitch. Let's go.
So at this point, I think Christi may have thought that Melissa was going to go in the hallway with her to talk, but that's not what Melissa wants to do. So it continues.
Hey, that your kids feel bad, but it doesn't matter that my daughter feels bad.
Your daughter is holding a national title, and I will take it away in a minute.
No, you can't just take someone's title away because their mom wants to talk? Like, how does that work out? And Abby got in Christi's face there and yelled in Christi's face.
Go ahead and take it away, Abby. I'll leave your studio.
That's fine. Where are you gonna go?
That could be one way to handle this situation, but that wouldn't be necessary. This wasn't even really about Abby. Christi wasn't even necessarily upset with Abby. She was upset about the unfairness. And we don't know what she was going to say if someone had just listened to her. But they refused to speak to her.
I would say the fight between Abby and Christi was incredibly embarrassing. That could have been handled behind closed doors, definitely not in front of children.
Yes, I agree. And Christi tried to handle it that way, and she was refused.
Even when there are issues, I try to limit the things I'm saying in front of the kids because it makes them feel bad. It makes them feel self-conscious and awkward.
Yes, it would. That's why it should have been either in the hallway or tomorrow at the studio. That should have been Abby that took control of it in some way. But she didn't. She just let it escalate.
No, come with me. Girls, they are staying with me.
Now Melissa is mad and yelling at people in the hallway. So it's resolved, I guess?
You are an uneducated mess. Quit drinking.
This wasn't about drinking. I don't know much about wine, but that bottle doesn't look open or sound open. We didn't see anyone drinking. I don't think that's relevant at all here. It's just a way for Abby to put the blame on Christi and make her look a certain way to the audience, maybe.
I'm not going on a bus.
Oh, so now Melissa doesn't want to ride the bus to avoid Christi? They could have also talked on the bus. The kids would be there, but they could have quietly talked at the front of the bus.
That bitch. Don't cry. I'm telling you. Give me a phone.
I guess some of the things that Christi said, like that Chloe has beaten Maddie this year, that wasn't nice. But she really tried to handle it the right way in the beginning, and no one was listening to her. I don't know if that really makes Christi a f***ing bitch, though.
No, she didn't even do her.
You are out of control.
Or that she is out of control. I mean, I guess she's out of control in the sense that she's trying to call out the unfairness instead of just falling in line and letting it happen. Her feelings are valid and no one is listening.
I'm the a**hole for staying at your studio.
There you go.
Then I need to leave.
You're done.
Again, yes, that is one way that this could be handled. If you don't like it, then just leave. Lose your titles, apparently, and just leave. So Abby walks out and is greeted by someone in the hallway.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Abby is very good at her job. She was upset, but she realized that this man in the hallway was not involved and might be a judge or someone important, so she flipped right back into business mode and even looked like to make sure that the camera was catching this nice interaction. Back in the dressing room,
How did I get stuck in this?
well, because you stayed till the end this time.